Hey, welcome to this episode of How to Buy the Hood. I am your host, Coach Anthony Legins. I am so super excited today to have the wholesale diva here, Miss J.GAINES in the house. Let me introduce her to you guys right now. She's a motivational speaker. She's an investing coach, author. She's even a licensed nurse. Now, this dynamic single mom has triumphed through many of life's obstacles, from very poor circumstances in the cruel projects of Chicago. Now, she has survived abuse, homelessness, and even juvenile incarceration. Now, over the past 20 years, though, she has mastered many types of creative real estate investing, as well as taught thousands of individuals how to become successful in the business. Now, during the 90-day workshop, she taught success principles that motivated her first 30 students to collectively control over $3 million in real estate. This professional businesswoman has organized over 3,000 special events. She was an instructor for Barbizon and John Casablanca modeling schools for many years. She has coordinated pageants in many states, coordinated expos, trade shows with over 500 vendors, conducted weddings, managed photo shoots, as well as produced events with major sponsors. J.GAINES, the wholesale diva, has appeared as a radio personality, TV host, and while doing all of this, completed nursing school while owning a chain of martial arts schools. Wow. Her mission is to empower, educate, and inspire more to build generational wealth. And with that being said, hey, woo, Mrs. Gaines, I am so happy to have you.
You said a
here.
Mouthful.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is.
I know okay. People will say, she hasn't did all that. Oh, yes, I have.
Did it all. Yeah. She's did it all. You better check her out. You better Google her. You know what I'm saying?
I've had a full life.
She's the real deal. And we so happy to have her up in the house. Go on and shout yourself out there.
Well, thank you, Anthony. Thank you so much. And to all your listeners and viewers out there, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Again, Anthony gave me an elaborate introduction, so I don't really want to keep tooting my own horn. I'm just here, to share some valuable information with you guys and possibly answer any questions that you may have. I'll let you pick my brain. This is pick a brain time.
There it is. And here on this show, How to Buy the Hood, this is focused on helping teach us principles in real estate and how we can get actively involved in real estate to help improve our local communities and where we grew up in. Because even if you moved outside of your community, you may still have interest of where you grew up in. And we'll show you how you could take action through working with someone like myself and definitely like the one and only wholesale diva here. So, so Ms. Gaines, who are you? And how did you get into real estate in the first place? I know we had a fantastic introduction. So let's just say, how did you get into real estate in the first place?
Well, I was a military wife. I'd been a military wife almost 12 years, and life was beautiful. I mean, I had the white picket fence and the 2.2 kids, I was living the American dream according to society for an African-American woman. I was well taken care of because, as you know, you're ex-military. In the military, you don't pay for housing. So we had this big, beautiful home. We had the nice cars. I was a professional model at the time in San Francisco, and my husband was in the Navy. And believe it or not, just one night, I probably felt it coming. I didn't see it coming, but I probably felt it coming. He just kind of came in the house and announced that he didn't want to be married anymore. Just kind of like that. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't, it was just kind of matter of fact. He said, you know what? I don't want this life anymore. I don't want to be married anymore. And I was like, okay. At first I thought he was kidding. But then probably about a week later, he moved out. And I got a notice from the Navy stating that they called it port of call or something like that. Where do you want us to move you and your 2 kids? Port of call. And so I didn't understand what that meant. Basically, they were telling me that I had to get out of military housing. And they gave me 30 days to decide where I wanted them to move me and the kids. So being the person that I am from the hood, the first thing I did was have a big garage sale and sell everything I could in the house. Look, I was selling everything.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I was sitting at home, actually, I think it was a Friday evening, if I remember right now. I remember I had made me a cup of green tea. You know, when certain pivotal changes happen at points in your life, you remember those moments. I was drinking a cup of green tea and I was watching TV, and this commercial came across the TV, and it was Carlton Sheets.
Oh, okay, I remember him.
Now, you know, we all have seen this commercial, what, 2,500 times.
Right,
and it said, you too can own real estate without banks, credit, or cash. And I had never, ever paid attention to it because I wasn't interested in real estate. But here he said, if you're going through a divorce, look, right there, he had me like Beyonce, right. He had me at hello. So all of a sudden I perked up and I'm looking at the TV, and he was interviewing all these people, and there was this one African-American man who was a single dad. I don't know if you remember, he had a Hawaiian shirt on, and he was sitting. Yeah, you've seen the commercial. And he said, I'm a single dad of 2 sons, and I got involved in this. I've never used my own money, and I own like 12 houses or something. I'm like, okay, maybe a diva can still maintain her lifestyle. Because my concern was my kids got used to private school, nice, clean neighborhood, you know, living the life. I didn't want to take them backwards where I came from the projects. So I was determined to find a way to make sure my children live their best life. Man, so I was in Alameda, California, which is across the bridge from San Francisco. It's right by Oakland. The seminar was a 3-day seminar in San Diego. So I got a babysitter and I rented a car because I didn't want nothing attached with the vehicles we had or nothing. I didn't want the husband saying, you know, she tried to steal a vehicle and go to San Diego, because things get crazy during a divorce. You know that. So I rented a car and I went for the 3 days. Now, I only had about $2,500 on my credit card. The program was, I think, $5,000, but it included a mentor and everything. And so I gave them my last $2,500, and I told them I'd be back in 30 days with the rest. But my position was, when I walked out of that ballroom, I'm going to find a deal. Right. And I did. I did my first deal, and I made 11,000 something cents on my first deal. And that was after I split. What? Yeah.
Oh, you was hooked.
I split with my mentor. I made 22, but you know, you split with your mentor.
Yeah,
I got so I was like, oh, this stuff works. Wait a minute.
Works.
I never looked back. And so when they moved us from California to Texas, which is where I asked them to move me to. Well, first they moved me to San Diego. I stayed in San Diego 6 months. Cost of living was too high. Dealing with trying to do wholesaling, the properties were too high. And remember, I was a newbie, so I was scared. I was still scared to deal with high dollar properties. So I researched and found out Texas had cheap real estate. So I took some money from my 401k. And when we got to Texas, I bought a bunch of houses, little cheap houses down in South Dallas. Okay. And I put them on owner finance. Now, I didn't understand that was the term back then. Okay. I understood about people making payments to me and I don't have to do any work, fix any toilets. So that was all in my contract. So I understood that. I didn't know what to call it. And fast forward, when I got that group of 30 students, one of them did her first deal in 2 weeks, and I think she made $8,000. And she told Lynn Hayes at the radio station about it. Lynn Hayes interviewed me, and all of a sudden, my business exploded. Every Black person in Texas wanted to know, you know, how much do we pay you? I didn't even know what to charge. You know, I was like, I don't know. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's
how I got started. And
well,
I didn't have a website. I didn't have business cards. I didn't LLC. I didn't have none of that. And I blew up overnight.
That's what's up. And it can happen like that too. I'm telling you, it can.
It really can.
You know, it can. I mean, you just went from watching an infomercial one night, you know what I'm saying? Carlton Sheets, well, he was selling them
back
programs
in the day.
too, though, wasn't he? Man, he was getting money, right? I love
Yeah.
Carlton Sheets, man. That's my
Carlton Sheets
dude.
wasn't playing. He
He's
he
the
was the
original
OG.
out here.
Yeah, he was the original OG.
He's the original, man. I had his whole program, like the whole, it was like a
All
big
the
case,
CDs.
right?
Yeah, it was a big old
like,
case.
Man, and it worked. It worked incredibly for you. That's an awesome start to a career.
The thing is, I didn't understand all those other techniques that they taught us over the weekend, because they taught subject to, owner finance, rehab, ahab, mohab.
Right. I know.
Nothing.
It's like a different language. Right.
Nothing registered with me but wholesaling, because the guy that gave the example, the little blurb, and it was, when I said little blurb, the seminar was this big and the wholesaling part was this big. The guy that gave the blurb, he gave a good example. He said, when you go to Walmart and buy a sweater, you might pay $20 for the sweater, but somebody sold it to Walmart for $5, and someone bought it for $1 in Japan or China. He said, you are that $5 person. And I said, wait a minute, that's the way we run stuff in the hood. This ain't difficult.
Be surprised how the principles are the same. The principles, a lot of us already have the knowledge that we need to be successful. We just don't have the education on the real estate tip. You know what I'm saying?
I agree 100%.
If you just took some time and you're doing it for yourself, you just got to take some time to do a little learning.
Homework.
You know what I'm saying? A little homework. And that's all. Because that knowledge is going to give you the confidence.
Because that made sense to me. We used to buy candy from the penny store and then resell it in the hood. So I used to do that. That's the same thing. Ain't no different from wholesaling the house.
Right. Yeah, I used to do that too. I used to
buy
the packs of annihilators and break them down and sell single
annihilators. Right. I did the same thing. Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about your business model, or should I say maybe your most successful business model in real estate.
Well, I still do my own personal deals when I feel like it. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. When I feel like doing a deal, I do one. It's not a mandatory thing with me now because I'm up in age and I'm settled. My focus right now is education. I come from a family of nurses and teachers. So I chose nursing. However, I'm good at teaching people how to do stuff. So my focus now is educating and empowering the African-American community on what real estate investing involves. It's not what you see on HGTV.
Right.
And that's all they know. It's not just going to a realtor and putting 20% down and buying a house. It's much more involved in that. And there are so many creative ways you can rebuild the community one house at a time. And especially if we get together and do it collectively.
Definitely.
So that's really important.
I love that. I love that because like, what tools do you use right now, like to get your message out and, to get your platform?
I'm mostly word of mouth, to be perfectly honest. I don't even take on students if they haven't been referred. We use Facebook a lot. I have about 250 videos on Facebook. I have 500 videos on YouTube. I have 2 channels. And I'm basically more laid back at this point because I'm like 69 now. So I'm real laid.
Oh, no way. I wouldn't have guessed that. Seriously, I wouldn't have guessed that. Yeah. Nice. Wow.
So I'm more laid back now in terms of empowering other young African-American women and teaching them to be coaches. Nice. So that they can spread, you said reach one, teach one. I want them to spread the word. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. A lot of these questions that I would normally ask is would be more so for like some investors that are like doing the buying and flipping, like per se right now. But see, I see you more so as being you pretty much mastered this game. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. From what I can tell and what I've checked into about you and just, hearing you talk. And, so I want to ask you then, like, what do you think that we could do collectively to start taking action now?
That's a great question, Anthony. And my personal thoughts on that are, I see, and I don't want to compare, but I need to compare just for the sake of that question. I see a lot of Caucasian brothers or Hispanic brothers will get together on YouTube collectively. Now, mind you, each one of them has their own training or coaching program, but they will come together collectively on YouTube and other social media channels, and they will share information with their community to empower and educate their community. You might have one Hispanic, one Caucasian, one Arab or Iranian, something. Those guys will get together and will share information to empower the community. And whoever you sign up with, that's your business. They don't care. They're not caught up in that, the pettiness of that. I think that if more of us come together collectively, you, myself, Armand, people like that, Glenn, if we come together and try to educate, because a person can't jump into any type of business unless they're educated on it. And especially the real estate game, it's not a joke. You're dealing with a high value asset of a person. So I think we need to educate and empower the masses first. And then whether they choose to sign up with you, me, Armand, or whomever, it doesn't matter. We're not caught up in that. We're caught up in get the right education, know your terminology, know how to talk to a seller depending on what the situation is.
Exactly.
Because everybody's not good at customer service. One of the questions that I ask new individuals when they want to sign up with me as clients, have you ever did call center work or have you ever worked a commission job? If you've never did call center work and you've never worked a commission job and you've never owned a house, you got to start from kindergarten. You don't even know the language.
Right. Exactly.
You follow me?
Exactly.
You don't even know the terminology. When a person says, well, my mortgage balance is, and you're like, well, what's that? Duh. You need to educate yourself first, then jump in the game. And I think right now during COVID, people are just jumping in the game. I call it throwing spaghetti against the wall, hoping it'll stick.
Right. Yeah. It's vital that you got to get with somebody that can teach you this.
Somebody that can teach you.
Whether it be, to be honest with you, when I got started in real estate, I didn't know nothing. Like I was clueless. Like I didn't know anything, nothing about real estate. And I didn't know who I was going to sell a house to or anything. Right.
Yeah, that's most of us.
And this, the conception that I had is that when I go get to this real estate school and get my real estate license, then I'll learn real estate. To be honest with you, they only teach you the law and the math. They don't teach you the how to do it part. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get out there and struggle with the how to do part. And that's what I think that, me and Miss Gaines here, we want to help cut out some of that learning curve for you, because if you can get with her and she can get, I mean, she's so experienced, you know what I'm saying? So I would suggest that you go on and get with her and also check her out, you know what I'm saying? And she has a lot to teach, a lot to offer. And I know that you out there, you want to get started in doing some things in your community and you just don't really know how to do it. You don't know how to go about it. I say right now, get with the Wholesale Diva, and she knows exactly what to teach you and how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Go on, Miss Gaines, go on and say something, because we're about to go on and be out. So go on and say something to wrap us up, take us up out of here, please.
You didn't have no more questions for me? Oh, okay.
Well, you got anything else you want to share?
My focus, I do want to share with the audience, my focus is women. I'm not biased or anything. I take on male clients, but I work much better with women because I was that single mom that, had to pull myself up by my bootstraps. So I love working with women, especially single moms that want to leave the work environment, or women that want to leave a situation that's not working out for them or whatever, so that they can build generational wealth for them and their children. So any women out there that are listening to me or that hear my voice, if you're interested in having a coach or mentor who's a female, who approaches this business from a female negotiation perspective, then I'm the person for you. And you can always reach out to me. I do a consultation to see if we're a good fit. If we're not a good fit, God bless you. I'll send you to Anthony or Armand.
Yeah.
But if we're a good fit,
my man Armand, right?
Yeah. I'd love to work with you. I got a student that just signed up with me December 1st. and she has 5 contracts already. And she's doing virtual. She's in Jersey, and she's doing deals in Birmingham.
What? Wow, that's incredible. See,
Yeah.
you know, that's incredible. You know,
and I have students.
That's really all I can say is like, wow, that's
yeah.
incredible. I mean, you know, that's so exciting. You know, that's good news for people to hear. You know,
Absolutely.
And, I mean, that's possible for you that's watching.
It's
right
definitely
now.
possible. I mean, if you guys go to my YouTube channel, you'll see students from all over the United States that have made anywhere from $3,000 a deal to $25,000 and $30,000 off a deal. So the receipts, this is what the young millennials say now, the receipts are on the YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, you know, we definitely gonna have the links below to the Wholesale Diva, both of her channels, you know what I'm saying, so that you can definitely get with her, link to her website. You know what I'm saying? Everything. You know, you need to get with her. I highly recommend her just from our conversation. My partner, Armand, he's very familiar with her.
Actually, I'll be on tomorrow.
Armand, you got an interview with Armand tomorrow. I know, you told me. Yeah. You know, and, you know, hey, you know, we highly recommend Miss J.GAINES, the Wholesale Diva. You need to get with her. Hey, we're going to go on to wrap this up. And thank you for tuning in. This is How to Buy the Hood. Special guest, Miss J.GAINES, the Wholesale Diva. I'm Anthony Legins, real estate coach and mentor, and we out.